What's happening, guys? Michael Andrula here. It's Thursday. It's snow-covered New Jersey. Ready here to give you some information on how to be a high performer, how to outperform your standards in the long term, how to outperform yourself, and how not to fall into the trap. The trap is drama equals stress equals slowdown. People love drama. That's why there's dramas on TV. They love to watch nonsense. They love to be part of nonsense, and it's your job as an entrepreneur, if you're listening to this, or a person that's looking to make a change, it's your job to change your psychology, change your mindset so that you don't operate at the same level. Nothing wrong with that. You can go through life being filled with drama, looking for reasons to write letters, or looking for reasons to be outraged, or looking for ways to control situations that really ultimately mean nothing. Or you can make a decision and say, I'm going to lead, I'm going to set a standard, and people will respect that. People will follow me, you, everybody, and we'll pull in more green energy. So that was the talk from yesterday, green energy. How do we make it? Money has gotten a bad rap, but you need resources. Resources allow you to do things, allows you to do unbelievable things for people, and you don't want to leave all of those resources in people's hands that are, not monsters, but are psychologically prone to kicking people while they're down. So we're going to avoid that. So keep in mind, guys, most bad decisions are probably going to be made off of bad assumptions. If you're making assumptions about situations, people, the way they're thinking, the way they're feeling, then your decision making is going to be poor on that. And this happened to me millions of times in the past. Now, life isn't fair, so it's extremely important for you to be a results-driven person, a person that's the best job security ever, making results happen. So for me, I could be gone, and I will, wherever I go, I will make results happen. So therefore, I will demand a higher paycheck than the average employee. And this is just probably coming from my upbringing. I had to make results. I started in literally the lowest possible jobs, doing whatever they told me, and thanking them for doing that. So results, that's period. That's what you should care about as an employer. You should care about the result, and you shouldn't care about the control over the individual. So don't assume, don't cause drama, don't participate in drama. You got to settle that out. Okay, let's continue on this. So we need to make sure, number one, you have the correct psychology. Your mindset is correct and consistent. If that isn't the first step, I don't know what would be. If your mind, and this is the toughest thing for me, I wake up almost like that movie Memento. The guy has no short-term memory. He's got tattoos and notes all over him. He wakes up, every day he's trying to put this picture back together. And trust me, that's how my mind is, which helps me in a great deal. If you've ever taken my classes, you'll see, or my videos, I'm pulling stuff out of nowhere, and it's because my mind is extremely dyslexic. And dyslexics have bad raps, and people don't want me to call myself a dyslexic unless if I've certifiedly been categorized as a dyslexic. I can tell you guys I've read quite a few books on dyslexia, and dyslexia is different than you probably believe. It's a problem in decoding information. When you're looking at the symbols, the words, and you have a problem decoding that. But usually children and adults that have dyslexia also have an overcompensation in another part of the brain, another region. And it gives them abilities like sound, my ability to intake information via sound. I can do it at 3 times the speed a normal person can. I remember, I retain everything. I can reproduce it. I can mimic it. It also allows you to do things, this not so much for me, but other people, is spatial imagination. You can create Einstein is a good example of this, or Steven Spielberg, where they can create the movie, create the formula, create the equation, create the situation in their mind and test it. So there's situations where their dyslexics are better at encoding and worse at decoding. And this is why sales pitches normally don't work on me, because I can't follow along. When a normal person opens up a web page, they just read from the first sentence to the last sentence. I can't do that. I need to know the meaning before I start investing my time into it. So where did that come from? Anyway, psychology. Make sure your mind is operating at a level that you want it to. And how does that's really the questions you're asking yourself. So if you're asking yourself the right questions, you'll get the right answers. You're asking yourself the wrong questions, you're going to get the wrong answers. Your mind will be focused by the questions you ask yourself. So if you're asking yourself, how can I make more money? Then that's going to lead you to a different outcome than saying, I have no money. How am I ever going to make it through the day? Wrong question. And it's a luxury, guys, to be in this position. So be grateful that you are. If you can ask the questions, if you don't, there's too many countries out there that if you're a woman or you're a minority, or even if you're just a regular guy, say in most of the world, your options are limited. You can't do a lot socially. You can't let your opinions be expressed without repercussions. So we're going to take this, we're going to be grateful, and we're going to use it to change the world. Your psychology is going to really be enhanced by physical movements. In class, I use this all the time. I'm definitely the only instructor using NLP hypnosis in classes, and I use it all the time. I use it in regular conversations. I teach my friends how to use it with women and even guys. Your body, the way you move, the subtle things that you don't realize are happening when people are, and I'm thinking about sprints right now. So I do this drill where the class can do sprints. So they take their time on the way up and then they sprint on the way down. They could be dog tired. It could be 50 minutes into class. And let's say Steve, right before the sprint, before he's going to get fired up, he does this like 1-2 hop, almost like, and brings his hands up, hits his fist together, and then sprints like the Dickens. Now, how does he do that? Why does he do that? I didn't think he really realized why he was doing it, but then I pointed out all the time. If your body language is telling me that you're unstoppable, that you could push through anything, that nothing's going to get in your way, when your body language just says that, you're not doing anything. Your body language does that, your mind kicks in. This is the beauty and the effortless push you can give yourself. The reverse is opposite. There's people that are saying, why me? Why do I have to run? Why do I have to do this? If you do that, you're mentally collapsible. Not only are you mentally collapsible, you're helping to collapse. You're kicking the legs out from underneath. I'm guilty of it just as much as anybody else. Know your body, know the movements. Standing up tall makes you feel better than crouching over and feeling depressed. So if you stand up tall, if your chest is out, your shoulder blades are pulled back, you're breathing in strong, you feel stronger than you collapsing forward and saying, woe is me. These are absolutely simple, obvious things that most people never even get told or realize. Stand up tall. Take a deep breath in. Know your body. Doesn't matter. You don't need the history. You don't need to look at reasons why you can't do it. You're human. You're in the moment. You can do it right now. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Stomp your feet, chest out, shoulder blades pinch together. If the situation's difficult, guys, you will rise to the occasion. I'm still searching with God. You know, I've gone back and forth. The problem with me is I've gone to so much religious training, so many hours of studying the Bible, that people that are super religious, I feel like, or at least into one particular religion, they have not really been sitting down and read the Bible forward and back and pulled it apart. And I got to thank the Roman Catholics and the Jesuits for doing that. I think they didn't intend to do that. It's much better to cherry pick things from the Bible, and it's got some fantastic things in there. Absolutely fantastic. The meanings, they fit right in with Buddhist traditions. And listen, I'm Buddhist or no better. The Buddha was a rich, bored kid that wanted to go out and face the world. And that's, what message you're giving there. That he's bored now. He's going to go try it the hard way. But the symbol of it, the idea behind it, that we all are capable, that we all can rise to the occasion, that we shouldn't, no man that has his hands on a plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God. I don't believe that means that if you look back in the past, you're not going to go to heaven. I think that he's saying, don't look back, move forward. You got your hands on a plow, move forward. The Bible talks about how the flowers and the birds don't toil and feel scared about the future because they know God will provide, the earth will provide. And then this goes in Native American or Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Buddhist type philosophies. It's all the same throughout. Things will be provided for you if you send the right attention. This is life. You never know what's going to happen, but the psychology is correct to think like that. How did I get on this tangent? I'm not really sure. Religious-based studies. God could be the best tool you can use. Knowing you have that support structure, knowing you can look forward and have confidence in the future can be. And what we need to do is get some people. So if you are very religious or you weren't, or you're not very religious, why don't you go ahead and hit me up on Facebook or Twitter? I want to talk to you because I would love to have a deep belief in God. I just don't want to fake it. The only time I really feel close to God is, and this is dead serious, in Costa Rica. And Costa Rica, to me, seems like this is where humans, this is the type of climate, this is the type of environment humans came from initially. And what I mean by that, it's lush, it's vibrant, food is literally growing all over at all times, so you can have food. You can survive off the land. It seems like every day, and you can provide for yourself. Worst comes to worst, the temperature feels good. Then as humans started to move to, down through Asia, then back up and into Europe, things became different. With the cold, you had to learn to store items. You had to learn how to deal with these harsh climates. So you start to develop, at some point it's tougher. The payoff is longer, and it doesn't feel as good to me as just being out there, not worrying about tomorrow, getting your food, good community. So that's where I feel the most close to God. That's one reason why I go. It's very spiritual to me. People that are devout atheists go to Costa Rica and feel like they're touched by God. This is true in Hawaii too. Most tropical regions, your eyes open up. Anyway, back to the psychology and to be a high performer. So we talked about you have to have the right mindset, right? You have to use your body to fuel that mindset, so that mindset is pushing you through it, making you better. The next thing you need to do is focus on productivity. You have to focus in on output. If you're an entrepreneur, even if you're a normal person, for your entire school career, you mainly 99.9% were focused in on input. Okay, input is fantastic to a certain degree, and then it just becomes not beneficial. You're inputting information that marketers, people that want you to buy things, or nonsense are on the internet, and there's an endless supply of it, and you get caught up. Oh, look, I'm learning, I'm reading all this information. That means I'm learning. Well, guys, you got to focus in on output. You're high performers. You're entrepreneurs, and these are a couple people that I know will listen to the podcast and benefit from this. An output could be you making something, being artistic, creating something, doing a class,